Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Soviet Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Stockade Obj 703 Auto. Now if you do enjoy the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Obj 703 Auto, the Stockade, is basically an IS-3, but with an autoloader. That's pretty much what it is. Or should I say, in terms of the way the gun is, okay, so obviously the hull is an IS-3. It is what it is. The turret and the gun are the IS-3A's gun, which means it's got the same problems as that gun, but you've got the autoloader on it as well. And what do you mean? You might be going, what do you mean the same problems as that gun? And that is that the gun is very derpy. Although you wouldn't be able to tell from the fact that we just hit all three of the first clip there on this tank. But yeah, the gun is exceptionally derpy. You've got 0.46 base accuracy on this Stockade. 0.46, which is not very nice. You've got 3.2 second aim time, which is not very nice. Your accuracy during turret and, well, during rotation and on the move is 0.78 during rotation and 2.73 on movement with the build that I've got. 0.78 on rotation isn't too bad, but the movement dispersion isn't the best. Then you have a reload, which, to be fair, the full clip reload for the Stockade with this build at nearly 26 seconds isn't too bad for 1200, but especially in this sort of game where you're in a bottom tier matchup and you have to rely on this gun handling being absolutely atrocious and it misses sometimes. When you start to miss shots, that's where it starts to become a bit, that's not very nice, but on the whole, it's not too horrific, the reload. You've got these really nice APCR rounds that have 1400 meters a second shell velocity, just like on the IS-3A and all the other tanks that use this similar gun, like the Kiravetts. The shell velocity is absolutely beautiful on this tank. You've got 221 pen on those APCR rounds, with 270 pen on the heat rounds, which do go much slower than the APCR rounds, so bear that in mind. If you do switch to premium, you've got 820 meters a second shell velocity on those premium heat shells, and they will go very slowly. You will have to bear that in mind. You also have 5 degrees of gun depression, which is very Soviet, and you've got to be careful of the ridge lines that you fight on, because obviously you might start lacking in the old gun depression. The one that you do also have to bear in mind with this tank is that you do have a slow turret traverse, so it might be helpful to help out that if you want to. It doesn't bother me too much, but you only have 21 degrees a second with the build that I've got, so it's a little bit slow, so you might want to run rapid aim if you don't. If you don't like it. I don't myself, but it's, yeah, down to personal preference, really. And with the setup that we've got as well, we've also got 448 meters view range, which is still pretty blind, if we're honest. It's not the best, but at least you won't get truly outspotted by everything, because you can at least spot up to your 445 meter cap. But yeah, the view range isn't the best on this tank. It's fairly blind, but that is a very Soviet aspect of some of these heavy tanks anyway. So what do I run in terms of a crew on the old Stockade? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanics, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Off-Road Driving. Off-Road Driving because the ground resistances are a little bit iffy on this tank, so I really want to help it get towards that 40 km/h top speed if I can, because it does have a good kilometre-an-hour top speed of 40. All 3 gun perks, because you've just heard me say that this gun is utterly atrocious, so I want to help it out if I can do, so that's what I do. And then the other perks are generally what I'm going to take on most heavy tanks anyway, or most tanks in World War II in general. And then in terms of equipment, I run the optics to be able to help me at least not be completely blind. The gun stabilizer to make sure that this gun, again, is as good as it can be, because it's absolutely atrocious if you don't help it. And the GLD, because I really want to help the aim time. It takes forever to aim, and, well, aiming lowers DPM, as it were, you know? So you want to be able to reduce the aim time so you can actually just get the shots aimed in. And I mean, with this build that we've got the aim time down to 2.6 seconds, which is far better than the 3.2 it actually is, right? And being able to get the gun aimed in far quicker is a lot nicer. But there's other ways that you could definitely kit out the Stockade. I mean, obviously, with the crew, you could definitely run rapid aim instead, because the turret traverse is atrociously slow. Instead of being like 21.79, you probably have it at 24 degrees a second, there you go. 24 degrees a second. And instead of, say, a GLD, you could run vents to get the view range higher, to make the DPM better, it'll still make the aim time a little bit better as well, make the accuracy in general a bit better. There's so much you could do. You could even run the powertrain if you wanted to, because there's no point really running the traction system unless you want better track traverse, because you don't hit the 40 km/h top speed that often, so there's no point making your top speed better if you don't hit your top speed in general anyway, right? So you might want to run the powertrain just to give you that little extra oomph in the engine, and that will help you get to your top speed a little bit more often than 42 kilometers an hour with that powertrain. But it's completely down to you and how you want to kit out the tank. It's down to your personal preference, as always, because no one can ever tell you this is how you should set it up. This is how the tank handles for me with this setup, and it's always down to how you feel comfortable playing it. So this first game, we're in a bottom tier matchup. We're not in a good matchup, and we are on Lakeville. The Centauro 45T is looking for shots at us, and we got shot by something that is actually back at their base at K6. We were just waiting for the reload. Sadly, we weren't reloading in time to get a shot at this Centauro, but we do manage to get a shot towards him, and unfortunately, the gun just derps, and we hit the building. We try and fire another one his way, but again, it just misses because he's unspotted. So what we're going to do is go back to try and defend the base now, because there was stuff coming through the valley. It'll come through the valley towards our cap, and we want to try and stop them attacking the base if we can. So what my plan is probably thinking now is to go after the building where the artillery is, because I could either go to the building where the artillery is or hug this corner. The problem with hugging this corner is that if anything comes out the town, it's basically going to hurt me, and they'll have free shots. So I'm just thinking, what do we want to do? Because we're going to be attacked from both sides in a minute. This is going to be a little bit awkward. Swindle's in the T41E1. We've got a heavy tank in the middle. Well, at this point, we're looking at it going a bit like, I think we're a bit boned. We can try our best here, but I don't like the odds of what we're facing at the minute. The Centauro 45T gets spotted. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to these buildings over here. This way I can cover the cap behind me if I need to. I can side scrape off the buildings, and I can try and angle for a shot towards the Centauro 45T if he decides to come out of the town. We have to be careful though, because we've got heat shells loaded, because we only had one shell of APCR left. We've only got heat shells loaded, which is why you've just seen me destroy that wall. I've destroyed those walls because heat shells will just hit that wall and just be absorbed, so I'm reducing anything that could take away my heat shells essentially and just leave me in the dust. So the Centauro is playing very, very cautiously in the town. We're just waiting to see if they give us any sort of shot. But they're not. They're going after our GUI. And we're just in that position where we have to wait. We can't be too aggressive at this point. But we get spotted. And that was not the Centauro. We're detected as well. And the Centauro is not looking at us. It's actually the heavy tanks behind us. We get exceptionally lucky that the heavy tank behind us bounces. Unfortunately, our gun also derped when we put a shot towards the Centauro, which could have really helped. But it is what it is. Now we're going to swivel around to see if we can get any shots at these guys in the cap. So we're going to try and side scrape off the building if we can. We end up ricocheting a shot. We find the Emil 1. We've got heat shell loaded, which means that our 270 pen should go through the Emil's turret if we just aim to the side of it. And that's exactly what's just happened. That's where the 270 pen heat shells are very, very nice. That Emil 1 turret is very, very good hull down. But if it's going against 260, 270 to 260 plus penetration rounds, if they just shoot to the left or right of the turret front, you tend to be able to actually go through it. So we're now reloading our next clip, and I'm looking at this going, oh boy, this is not good. We do get a shot in to shut down the Emil 1 though, which is great. Something whiffs a shot at us from behind, which is probably the Centauro. The Draugen's moved round the rocks on our right. We've got the Lehman Russ in front of us, which we don't really have any hope of penning unless we hit the cupola, which, with this gun, probably very unlikely. Artillery's trying to feather a shot at us. We try and pull out, try and side scrape against the Lehman Russ. He fires HE at us, and the Centauro from behind finishes us off. And unfortunately, we couldn't get that game to a win, and we finish with the defeat. Finished with 5 kills, 5,000 damage. The ace tanker, the high caliber, and we tried everything we could in that bottom tier matchup to try and win, and we finished with the 1271 base XP on a loss, which is pretty. Me and Swindle had a really, really good game there on that map against that kind of matchup, but sadly we just could not beat the tier 10s to that victory. And sadly, it was a decent defeat. But we're on to the second replay. And the second replay, we are here on this map, which is El Halluf. El Halluf is one of the older maps in the game. Does anyone remember the old El Halluf? I remember the old El Halluf. I remember just YOLOing off of cliffs to try and get down to the other side and dying horrifically because I never had a clue what I was doing back in the day. The old El Halluf was completely different. This top corner was completely different, and it tended to be that there was, like, just this whole little area here with all the cliffs and stuff was just, yeah, very, very different. It was quite a lot of fun, but it was definitely an unbalanced map. So this El Halluf is definitely better. But we've taken the aggressive route here, by the way, to this position up at C2, and we've lost a lot of hit points. We're losing a lot of hit. There goes our engine. The Vanguard, damn you Vanguard, you little pest, breaks the engine, tracks us in place, but thankfully we just get behind the ridge. And yeah, this way to C2 is definitely quicker. It's definitely quicker, but it's riskier. You just saw that. We got spotted, and their team was just in the perfect place to go, okay then, that's a stockade, blap, 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 blap. And there goes all of our hit points. So we're now starting the game, realistically, with no damage, and we're on 695 hit points. And we've got no engine either, which is a bit awkward since we just use a repair kit as well. But we're going to make the most of it. We're still going to do what we can. We also fired our first clip, which is a little bit sad as well, because we didn't hit any of those shells. And to add to that, we don't have much ammo in the Stockade. The Stockade only gets 15 shells of APCR with 12 shells of heat. And you run out of ammo quite a lot in this tank. We were running out of ammo in that last game. I mean, the best game I've ever had in this tank is... There's a video called Stockade. That's a lot of damage. I recommend you check it out. And it's from quite a long time ago. I think it was mid-2021, something like that. And we did 8,500 damage in that game. And we ran out of ammo. That's the only reason we stopped doing damage, if we're honest. Which is it's a sad time for the Stockade. It definitely, I wish it had more ammo, but I don't like it when they limit tanks by their ammunition. It's just a little bit annoying because it's like, well, I've done everything I could possibly do to win this game, and now I'm just being limited because they decided that with the ammunition choice, or well, the ammunition count, I should say. So you've just seen the derpy gun handling. We had a fully aimed shot at the lower plate of the KV-4. We managed to pen 2 out of 3, and the first one just hit the dust, because why not? That's what this gun does. This gun can be exceptionally frustrating in that way, because it does just love to hit the dirt. But we're now nearly loaded. We're just looking for the shot into the Draugen, and the other Draugen drives in front, saves the day for that guy, goes, "Get down, Mr. President," and ricocheted the shot. God damn. But, heyo, we are managing to get the final couple of shots into the KV-4, whittling him down, and we're now again in the reload, and we're basically banking on this captured, no, it's not a captured King Tiger, it's a standard King Tiger, basically banking on this dude bouncing a fair few shots so that he can be the sponge while I get my reload in, because obviously I don't have any hit points, and I don't want to lose any more hit points, because that damages my ability to be, well, it damages my ability to be that auto-loading monster that comes around, maybe takes a hit, and then delivers the blows. So we've got one shot into the Draugen, which killed him. We've got a shot towards the Projecto 54 that sadly bounced, but we put our second shell in. This is a pretty typical thing for the Stockade, this game, in general, that we're basically hitting 2 out of 3. It tends to be that way for the Stockade. You tend to usually get 2 out of 3. That's the way it goes. You don't always get 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4? Yes, 3 out of 4 when you've got 3 shells in the autoloader. Well played, brain. Yeah, it's very rare that you get 3 out of 3. So we managed to shut down the Draugen there. The Projecto 54 drives around. We track him in place. Perfect, perfect, perfect. The KV-4 saying, "I've got you, bro. I'm going to pen you, but I'm going to protect my Projecto 54. And the Projecto 54 said, "Kill me! Kill me!" Why not? Why not? Okay, sure, we'll kill you. And we shut down the Projecto 54. We hit all 3. Let's go. The first clip that hits all 3. Again, typical autoloader. We've managed to deliver the burst, and we're just waiting because we're sizing up the targets. Because that's one thing, you don't want to just sit there reloading going, okay, you want to also be sizing up what you're going to be doing next. So I was always thinking, right, I want to get this clip in so I can get this UDES 1405, and I can come in and kill this T32 as well, secure the 2 kills. That's what we've done. We've come in, killed both tanks. Now we can see where the other 3 light tanks are. They're on the other flank, but they're surrounding a heavy tank, and there's like a heavy tank and 2 medium tanks in our base, so I'm pretty confident that, well, you're never too confident with your team, but I'm pretty confident that hopefully they should at least be able to deal with that. And now we are going to go try and find the tanks that might be in their base, because there was a couple of heavy tanks that were spotted down at in the little campy spot, D7, so we're going to see if we can catch them out. But the Falcon T92 is in a position where maybe we can get a shot in, so we lead it with the heat, and oh, it's always satisfying when these heat rounds hit at that range. The second shell misses because we didn't quite lead it enough. Just making sure that this third shell is going to get the shot in, and there we go. When you hit those heat shells at range, it really is quite a beautiful feeling, because just because of how derpy this gun is, and how bad the shell velocity is on the heat rounds, when you hit those rounds, oh, it's so satisfying. That Vanguard's managed to kill the CS-44, but it's tracked, but unfortunately, we are reloading. The heavy tank gets a shot into the Vanguard. He's now a one-shot. And I'm looking at this guy going, oh, typical. Very, very typical. Just as we get the shells in, the Vanguard gets himself unspotted. That is so unbelievably typical. It is what it is. I wanted the Top Gun there, but hey-ho. We're up to 3.9k damage, 342 assistance. We're on 5 kills. And once again, I can't really focus on the Vanguard. I can't worry about the Vanguard. What we're going to do is go after the heavy tank that is in their base. It's a little bit awkward because that VZ-44-1 isn't a one-shot, but there's the Vanguard. Can we get the shell to get the Top Gun? Can we do it? Just making... Oh, we just not a chance. We did... I don't... Again, we're on that point where I've got shells. Oh, maybe a chance to get the Vanguard here, though. Just making sure we get the lead. Oh, it misses. Got to be careful with it, though, because of the fact that we don't have many shells. And then, realistically, what I should do now is just go for a full reload. There we go. We go for the full reload. Because we have 6 shells left. You've always got to be thinking about how many shells you've got in this tank, because you have very limited stock. I had 6 shells left. If I go for the full reload, I will be able to get a full clip of heat in before going after this VZ-44-1, which is a little bit awkward, because the VZ-44-1 is also not a 3-shot for me, unless I get lucky with the rolls. But we're going to chance it. We're just going to go for it anyway. We got the heat in, so we aim above the tracks, because the heat might just get absorbed by his tracks, which is something we've got to be careful of. We get a second shell in, and oh boy, he is a 3-shot. No, in fact, he is a 3-shot. For some reason, I was thinking I had a 900 clip there. No, we got a 1200 clip, so he was always clippable. So we managed to get the Top Gun there by shutting down that VZ-44-1 with our second to last clip. Duh, you've said it already, it's got 1200 clip potential. Oh boy. Anyway, we're up to 5k damage with 342 assistance, and what we're going to do now is go after the last heavy tank alive, which is up in the cliffs, up here at DC0. And with this, we're really going to have to make sure that we're hitting these shells. He outspots us, and that's because we are blind as a bat. And we're going to have to wait for our team to catch up. I don't want to chance it because we are, well, we're a 2-shot for them. But I don't want to lose any hit points at this point. So we're just going to keep baiting, see if we can get them to fire, see if we can spot them. We get outspotted again. Realistically, it's this tree that's keeping me from spotting them, because they probably got way better view range than I have, so they can spot me through the concealment because I've got such bad camo, naturally being a heavy tank. And because I'm trying to spot, because I'm blind as a bat and I'm trying to spot through it, I can't see them. But there's the projectile 54. We get one shot through his side. Just looking for the second shot through his side. There we go. I was hoping to possibly track it. We've got one shell left. He's hiding behind there. Can we get a kill, the last kill with the last shot? We see the cupola. Go for the shot, and it ricochets off the top of his turret. Oh, it ricocheted. Oh, we've got no ammo left. Now we've got to rely on our team to kill it. The projectile 54, YOLO's the T42, and the Dreadnought slash T42, sorry, managed to carry and finish him off. And we finished the victory, 6 kills, 5.6k damage, bit of blocked, ace tank of the high caliber, the Top Gun, the steel wall, the 2,000, nearly 2,400 base XP. A really great game there for the Stockade. Sadly run out of ammo, but it is what it is. It is one of those tanks that really does need more ammunition. It really does. But that's the Stockade. It's a really fun tank. It's just the auto-loading variant of the IS-3A, and you can definitely have quite a lot of fun with it. You just got to get over how derpy that gun is at times, and the ammunition count. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success.